Hello, well, it's Scott Picken and I'm coming here from Tiananmen Square live in Beijing in China. And I thought I'd just give you a little show around on this Wealth Insight. You can see I'm right here. That's the People's Monument behind. This is the dead center of Tiananmen Square. And behind me is the big Chinese flag, and then that's the Forbidden City. So today's Wealth Insight is about how to get wealthy long term. And I've had the privilege of meeting very, very wealthy people around the world. One of the best I ever met was Jim Rogers, who was introduced to me by my uncle. Now, he wrote a book called Investment Biker. I highly recommend you go and watch it. He was George Soros's business partner, and he retired at 37. And he took a motorcycle and rode all over the world. And probably he has the Guinness Book of Records for traveling the most countries by motorcycle. And what he said is that if you want to get successful in life, you've got to be able to follow long-term trends. He said, you know, if you were born and wanted to be successful in the 1800s, you would have had to move to London because for the next 100 years, the British Empire was going to rule. He then said, if you want to be successful and you were born in the early 1900s, you need to move to New York because America was going to rule for the next 100 years. And he said, if you want to be successful in the 21st century, you've got to move to Asia, specifically to Singapore, Hong Kong, or Shanghai. And he actually has moved his entire family at the age of 70 to Singapore so that his children can learn Mandarin. And so coming here from the epicenter of China, coming here from the epicenter of what people know about China, Tiananmen Square, you know, literally the People's Monument. And a lot of people think of it as communist China, but the growth that has taken place in China over the last 20 years is absolutely phenomenal. There are 1.4 billion people here, over 400 million coming into the middle class. By 2028, it'll be the most spoken language on the planet. By 2022, according to the World Bank, 52% of all crowdfunding will be literally coming out of China. We had fantastic meetings yesterday with a guy that brought Microsoft into China 20 odd years ago. And he literally said, you know, if you want to be successful in life, you have to be able to get into China. You have to be able to bring your products here. You have to be able to, you know, get and interact with the people. But what's most important here is that it's also all about partnerships. Apple, that do all their sales all around the world, do it all on their own, all over the world, except for in China, where they use 95% of their sales are done through retailers. So my wealth insight is follow long-term trends. And really, if you follow long-term trends, and you know, Ray Kurzweil spoke about it at Abundance 360, the way to get, you know, truly successful is look for long-term trends and look at their intersection. So, you know, why am I standing here in China? Well, China is clearly a long-term trend. It is clearly going to have the biggest influence on us for the next 100 years. So is mobile. So is emerging technologies. Emerging economies, and so is financial technologies. And if you look at the convergence of all those long-term trends, that is the epicenter of where wealth will be created over the next couple of decades. And so that's Scott Picken coming live from Tiananmen Square here. If you did enjoy this, please let your friends know about it. As you know, our mission is to empower 1 billion people by 2020, and the only way we're going to do that is if we can continue to share value with people around the world. So like our page, you know, sign up to the YouTube channel if you want to get these every single week. We'll bring you weekly wealth insights from some of the wealthiest people that I have the privilege of meeting from all around the world. Cheers, signing out, China.